One of the best ways to jumpstart your day is to do something challenging. Do something hard early in your day. See, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and the topic of cold showers came up. And I was telling him that I do ice baths. And just like always, the responses are, dude, you do ice baths? Dude, you're crazy. There's no way I could do that. But the most common question that I get is why? And the answer is simple. I do it to challenge myself and strengthen my mindset and set up my day for the challenges that are to come. So let's talk about it. So there's a quote that I saw the other day by James Lane Allen, and he says, adversity doesn't build character, it reveals it. Now, I don't fully agree or disagree with this quote, but to understand it, we have to understand that there's two different types of adversity in this life. There's just the challenges that life brings, the chaos that life throws our way, the curveballs, if you will, the things that are out of our control. The other adversity are the things we do to challenge ourselves, to do better, to be better, to improve. And that is the controlled adversity. And we can use controlled adversity to build and strengthen our mindset, to build our resilience to the chaos that life brings. And I've observed this in my own life. On those days when I do something hard, when I take on a challenge early in the morning, I'm just in a better mindset. My days seem to be more productive. I'm ready to take on the challenges that life brings. And I challenge myself in two different ways. One is my morning workout, and the other is a cold shower, or now ice baths. And I do this for two different reasons. One is the physical challenge, but two, it's the mental challenge. So there's a lot of scientific studies out there that show the physical benefits of not only exercising, but science is starting to catch up with the mental side of it, the mindset side of it. And they're doing studies to show that there are large benefits to even ice baths. And that's the reason I do it, is the combination of the physical challenge and the mental challenge. So we need to build in that day-to-day challenge or adversity into our lives to help strengthen our mindset. But what about over the long term? There's another quote that I read the other day by William Arthur Ward. And he says, adversity causes some men to break and others to break records. If you want to be the type of person that doesn't break when life throws you curveballs, when chaos of life ensues, then you need to build that controlled adversity into your day-to-day life. Because you see, it's the accumulation of incremental challenges over the long term that truly builds your mindset and builds your confidence and builds your resilience to the chaos of life. So do something hard every single day and don't quit. You'll eventually start to feel this confidence, like you can take on anything that life throws your way. And as you start to feel that confidence, you'll start to feel like you can take on bigger and more challenging things. And that's where the momentum starts. Michael Easter actually wrote about this in his book, The Comfort Crisis. He talks about the practice of massage. Now, I'm not going to go into all the details of it, but essentially it's something you do to challenge yourself that pushes you to that breaking point. It pushes you just to the edge of it. And that can be such an amazing experience. And it's something that can really start to build your character and build your resilience to the chaos of life. Now, this whole practice of controlled adversity is something that, as I mentioned, I try to build into my daily life. And it just sets up my day and sets up my life to be resilient to chaos. However, I also try and incorporate this into my boys' life. And I do that by introducing challenges to their life. You know, there was a time as a father when my boys would struggle and I'd want to jump in there and save them, help them out and do this thing. But as I started to really think about this, the importance of controlled adversity in our lives, I really started to back off on that. Now, I'm always going to be there as a father, to help them out when they need help. But I try to think about and look at that situation and see, is this something that they can figure out, that it's not going to be detrimental to their health, their well-being? And if it's not, then I let them struggle. I let them work through it, because that's the importance of it. Just like we talk about, to kick off your day, start out with something challenging. That sense of accomplishment will just set you up for success. And that's the other side of this thing, is sometimes the success is literally just getting through that challenge. It's just making it through. There are many days when I'm doing my workout and it's a struggle, like it's a push. Now, there's some days that are a little bit easier than others, Same thing with the ice bath. There are some days when I hop in and I'm like, oh yeah, I got this. And then there's some days where, man, it is a struggle. Like, I want to get out. And it's hard. And afterwards, you just kind of feel like you literally, like you just kind of got through it. Like you just made it through. But then there's that sense of accomplishment. And you're like, oh, but I did it. But I made it through. And I came out on the other side. And that is the importance of controlled adversity. We've got to challenge ourselves. We've got to do hard things that push us. Because then when the chaos of life does happen, we know how we're going to react. It makes me think about the theory of rising to the occasion. You don't rise to the occasion, you fall to your training. So we've got to push ourselves to know how we're going to react when adversity happens, when life throws you those curveballs, when life challenges you. Because if you haven't put yourself in a situation similar to that, under that stress, under that challenge, you don't know how you're going to react. So my challenge to you is simply do something hard every single day and don't quit. Even if you just barely make it through, just continue to push yourself, to challenge yourself. Use that controlled adversity in your life to do better, to be better, to improve. I really appreciate you being here, listening to me ramble, getting inside of my head. If you want to check out yesterday's video, click right here. And as always, make the day yours, make the day great. We'll check you later. See ya.